Last year, we took a look at Witch House. It sucked.
Oh man, thought she was about to bust out eruption or something.
Now, perusing the horror selection on Netflix last week, what do you think went through my mind when I saw this film called House of the Witch? It's gonna suck. We begin with some random yutz riding his bike up to the old haunted house, I guess to set the mood, before switching to him and two other kids talking about said house.
My dad says it's haunted.
Yeah, never seen this setup before. A couple of unimportant characters telling me what happened at the house instead of the movie showing me.
Yeah, he's right. That's too easy.
Now eventually the Yutz heads up there alone, attempting to steal one of the numbers off the front door, and almost succeeds before getting pulled inside by, and I can't believe I get to make this reference again, the fucking smoke monster from Lost. How many fucking movies are gonna utilize this? It's been done to death. We've seen smoky spirits. Let it die. And 1 year later, we find one of our main characters talking to her mom for a bunch of unimportant shit.
And who knows how you're taking care of yourself while you're away at school.
And in the next scene, another main character talking to his dad for a bunch of unimportant shit.
You know, since we've talked about 5 times in the last 10 years.
The only reason these two scenes are even in the movie is so sometime later, both of these parents can meet up and together have an unimportant fucking scene where they worry about where their stupid kids are.
Being Halloween, but I went to the other parents and...
Now we next find two other characters, the hell with anyone's name in this movie, they're all fucksticks pulling up to the haunted house. Now the plan is to send one of them inside, and he's gonna hide, and he's gonna attempt to scare all the other kids when they get there. Fair enough. We next meet the rest of the group. Again, names don't matter, they're all fucksticks, but one of the fucksticks at least perfectly sums up my thoughts on the film.
I cannot believe this is what I have to listen to on Halloween night. I mean, seriously.
Let's just get to the guts here. I'm gonna go ahead and skip to when they're all in the house, because everything that precedes that is fucking meaningless. I'll give you an example.
My mom had to come back and take over the family business.
See, who gives a shit? Now, once inside, miraculously, the damn thing still has electricity. So it's been a year since that one kid went missing, which we know because of that fucking poster, so who the fuck's paying the electrical bill? Now, like most retards in these movies, two of them start making out, and then two more of them start making out, which leaves the other two fucksticks who aren't dating alone to wander around this shithole. Now, the first sign that something's not right is the bleeding walls. Now, where have I seen this before? I'm not saying they created it, I'm just saying.
What?
Now the other chick starts seeing a sheep move on a chair. I tried not to laugh. Big budget! Now the two who aren't dating continue to wander around the house, finding pictures of a strange woman.
These are so cool.
That's the thing throughout this movie. You know she's the witch. And they have their own stupid encounter with the strange. A phonograph turns on. You know, all the stereotypical and predictable things that happen because this is a haunted house. I'll give you one guess what's coming next. Yes, a jump scare. But it's the least crappy jump scare I've ever seen. The CG here, it's not that bad. It's perfect for this kind of movie. It's just enough. It's not too much, and it's not too little. Give it a pass.
Are you okay?
But then this bitch turns into 11, but with long hair and no powers.
I saw something.
Now freaking out, they try and leave, but the door won't open, and when trying to go through the windows, they now find them boarded up, which none of them seem to remember when they arrived. One of the friends comes clean now, admitting they hid their buddy inside to prank them, but he insists that this isn't part of the plan. Now they're totally not buying this, until one chick who thinks she sees something in the mirror loses her whole goddamn finger after touching its cliched surface. The rest of this movie plays out exactly as you'd expect, and I don't feel it's worth dragging you through. After being fucked with by the witch, who I'd imagine has the power to just kill them at any time, but doesn't, so it can fill an hour and a half of your time, they find this old letter with a bunch of hoodoo nonsense about the witch.
Execution whereof yet remains the 10th day of this month of October, by way of drowning pit.
You know why? Because the movie is cheap. Because the movie is lazy. Instead of like building a set and using the budget and showing us this scene, they just have an unimportant fucking character tell us about it.
It's an old death warrant.
I'm not invested. And one by one, the smoke monster possesses someone, kills someone, goes into the next body, and the mom and dad have their stupid little scene, and then out of nowhere, Taylor, I only know her name because the douche just said it, she finds an open door and runs out of it to probably not safety. So Smoke Monster Witch kills the dude and then drowns her ass in a nearby pond as was done to her. The rest of the group make their way to the basement where they find the friend that hid forever ago, caged and tangled in ropes. And two of the chicks escape through the walls as the tough guy and wussy guy try to save their friend, but they end up killing him in a freak accident like utter morons. So Blondie's fingernails get pulled off without so much as a twitch. I mean, are these fingers really gonna do nothing? She dies, probably. The other chick doesn't and is instead only knocked unconscious. And the next morning, the police arrive just as she wakes, and when she runs out to the officer's car, we get another shoddy jump scare because, hell, it only looks to me like this dude is listening to some Slayer. Oh look, it was all a dream. And even worse, the fucking movie turns into The Grudge right here. Oh my god, I'm really done with this shit this time. I mean it. They get off one by one, and finally, a real officer arrives on scene, spotting the truck they arrived in. He and the father of that one kid make their way up to the house after hearing the screams of the other chick who's now being drowned in the same pond as the other idiot. Now, when day breaks, the officer and father discover one of the girl's bodies and manages to revive her with CPR, which turns out to be a big mistake because, it's the witch. Oh no. Look at her, guys. She's touching the outside world for the first time in who knows how long, and she's caressing the grass. I care.
I don't care.
Now, it ends with the witch free to do as she pleases, I guess, after killing the officer and just kind of meandering down the road. And to really drive this point home, the movie decides to use a bunch of voiceovers of random shit that some of the characters have said, just so you really understand that she was using them for this.
Whatever that thing is, she's trapped here and she's using us to get out.
I mean, fuck, I was confused on that.
She's using us.
Weren't you?
She's using us.
Lloyd, who did this to you, man?
So old.
She did. The witch.
To be honest with you, this movie's not the worst kind of horror movie I've ever seen like this. I just felt like picking on it for its many cliched behaviors and typical characters. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed sitting through it, unlike a lot of bad movies. So there's something to this one to watch. If, in nothing else, by the fact that when we get to the ending, they didn't just kill everybody, leave the witch in the house, and part 2, zoom into the window and see her still up there or some bullshit like that. Having her walk down the road to freedom, she should have fucking levitated down the road to freedom. I think that'd have been cooler. I mean, I don't know what a witch does, but, the ending is what made me say, okay, you're okay. It ain't great. It's not even a C movie, I don't think. Some of the effects are okay, but surprisingly, I don't hate this movie as much as I made out in this review. I just hate a lot of the decisions. It's just, meh.
Next time on Metal Retro Reviews.
The detail in this. Wow. This movie is all pretty flowers and dances until someone takes a mallet to the face.